Hello and welcome to the terms from Myth and Folktale, and of course, terms from the Epic of Gilgamesh. This is Vocabulary Unit 1, and you will find this list in your Schoology folder that's entitled Trimester 1 Vocabulary. If you would like to just simply use the slides that are contained there, you may. They are orange in background, as you can see here, and the terms are listed as they appear on this screen. If you would rather write them out by hand, of course, you're welcome to do that too. Just pause the audio, give yourself a second to write down the words, and then come back. Assuming you're using these slides, let's begin. An abode is a house or a home, a place of residence. If you're talking about Green Willow and you're remembering the kind of home or abode she lived in, it was very simple. Somewhat low quality, not opulent, not a castle, not anything fancy. An abyss is a deep, bottomless cavern, a deep, bottomless pit or chasm. If you remember in sophomore year reading Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, the good Lord is dangling man over the fires of a hell. There's a deep, bottomless chasm, this abyss that's filled with fire, and it's only his whim that stops you from falling in. That is certainly not an amiable God. Amiable means having a friendly disposition, a charming manner. We can see the word amity in there, and amity means friendship. So someone who is amiable is affable and cordial and charming and friendly. To condescend is to show feelings of superiority. It's as if you were being supercilious or overly proud. To condescend is to be haughty, as though this were beneath you, is below your dignity to condescend. If you are in the stock market and you diversify your holdings, it means to make more varied. In this case, you would have stocks in all different kinds of products, not just one, and all different kinds of risks. A lament is a sad song, so a lamentation is an expression of that feeling. It is an expression of sorrow or grief. If people are singing lamentations, they're singing sad songs. We all know what mean connotes, right? We know what it means to be a person who is mean, right? They're not unkind. But in our readings, it was a different definition of mean. It meant of poor quality. Again, to come back to Green Willow, she is dressed in the meanest clothing. That doesn't mean that they're angry or nasty. It means that it's a sign of low birth, low class, low social class. Meanest means rather poor quality or cheap. Oratory is the art and practice of public speaking. Maybe you're good at it, maybe you're not. But in either case, it's a good idea to practice it and to be well versed in it. Oratory is one of the greatest ways of communicating. If you've come upon a day of reckoning, you might say it's the moment of avenging a wrong that was done in the past. But if you're just reckoning your accounts, then it's not necessarily vengeance, but it's the action of calculating something, of estimating something. She had to do a reckoning of how much food was left in the cupboard. When something is resplendent, it is attractive and stunning, splendid, brilliant, beautiful, dazzling. All of those words would work. Resplendent is anything that is impressive and attractive. I hope I'm not moving too quickly. To be in a state of reverie is to be in a state of joy, of ecstasy. Sometimes it might actually mean being in such a dreamlike state. That should be an S. Ecstasy. What a mess. Sorry. Sometimes it could simply mean being in a dreamlike state, almost like you're daydreaming. A state of reverie. To solder something together is to join it, as you'll see in Osiris and Isis. It usually involves heated metal, putting together two pieces of metal or lead. Wolfbane is a poisonous herb. It can be mixed into a drink and cause havoc upon someone. You'll see that in Theseus. An acolyte is an assistant or a follower. There are acolytes on the altar helping the celebrant sometimes. Altar boys are acolytes, altar girls. To allot something to someone is to give out or to apportion something. She was allotted 15 minutes to complete that assignment. To consign something, let's say he consigned 3 paintings to the auction house. To consign is to deliver something into someone's custody. So if you want to consign, your books to someone, you're going to give them away, just as we mentioned with the paintings in an auction house. A deluge is a severe flood. We mentioned that this is an archetype that appears from culture to culture to culture. We see it in the Bible. We'll see it in Gilgamesh. If you read more Greek myth, you would find it there too. An incantation is a spell, a magic spell or charm. If you should have an ominous feeling of something, you have a really bad feeling or a feeling that something bad is going to happen, right? Threatening. Talk about ominous clouds don't bode well for a picnic. Something that's menacing or threatening can be ominous. Okay, moving right along. Now 2 more left. To slough. A snake sloughs its skin. That means to shed or to remove. To slough off, if you want to slough off dead skin on your face, you would take a washcloth and use it as an abrasive. Sluice. A sluice, everybody, is a sliding gate that controls the flow of water. But it's also the act of putting water on yourself, whether it's showering or rinsing. So we'll put both down. A sliding gate that controls the flow of water. Or I could simply say the act of rinsing with water or showering with water. If you remember the old Christmas special with the Burgermeister Meisterburger, he is the mayor of Somber Town. When something is somber, it is dull and gloomy. Right? There will be no toy maker to the king. right? Somber town is not a happy place until, of course, he transforms. A transgression, we can use this word for a sin, but it could also be any act that goes against the rules. It goes against laws or a code of conduct. Okay, and there you have it, the terms from Myth and Folktale and the Epic of Gilgamesh. Thank you.